Alright, how about an update on the Civic that overheated? Now, it's been a little bit of time since I filmed that video and I figured I'd bring you up to speed. Now, this vehicle belongs to a family member and they don't have any money. They don't have any money to fix it, they don't have any money to buy a new vehicle. And in fact, that vehicle, the Civic, was actually listed for sale and nobody wanted it due to the condition that it was in, which is understandable. Now, Uncle Dave is going to step in and I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to pay for the parts and we're going to try to fix this thing. I already have a timing belt kit sitting on the shelf, on the parts shelf, for this generation Civic, so I'll use that. And I bought a new radiator and some hoses, and we're going to see if we can get this thing to run. So let's get to it. I don't know if it's going to be feasible to fix this vehicle in its current state, but I really wanted to see if we can at least get it running to the point where we can leave it running for a little bit and assess, the damage or how bad it is. Of course, there was no coolant left in this reservoir. And when I disconnected the hose, nothing came out of here. That was bone dry. Let's see how much coolant was in the radiator. Not much. Alright, the old radiator's out. And there's a look at it out of the vehicle. And I did a video years ago trying to solve a coolant leak, which I did, but I had to put this clamp on there because the regular spring clamp wouldn't work. And looking at this hose, now I know why. It was an aftermarket hose. I couldn't quite see that sticker down there when it was in place, but I suspected it was an aftermarket hose. We're also going to put an aftermarket hose, but it's not the same part number. We're going to go with a Gates hose this time. Going to go with a brand new TYC radiator. Just got to get everything swapped over. Well, the spark plug boots are not melted, so that's a good sign. With things removed, we can see what gooey mess we have back here. Definitely nothing left of that back timing cover, that's for sure. And just this little piece right here. Looks like we're rubbing and making a mess down here too. Had to do some chiseling to get the lower cover off. Definitely looks like it got a little cooked. This belt is chewed up, but amazingly enough, it did not break. I finally found the bolt to the back timing cover. It really is amazing that this thing was still running and I was able to pull it in. But there it is, all cleaned up. That's what's left of the back timing cover. I'll tell you what, they absolutely smoked the gasket on this old water pump. It was leaking out of here like a sieve. We'll be going with a brand new NPW water pump. These are made in Japan by Nissan. The kit I have also comes with an NSK timing belt tensioner and Bando accessory drive belts. Starting to come back together. I did have to splurge for new timing belt covers. Well, it runs, and it sounds better than it did. The car was able to fully warm up, and the cooling fans are working. And at least the coolant's not pouring out now. We'll fire up the top down, see what it tells us. Whoa, no, we'll drop it right there. We'll do just a quick IM check. See what it tells us. Hang on, let me get my glasses. I can't see anything without them. Alright, what is it telling us? Looks like our mill is good. The malfunction indicator light or check engine light is good. No DTCs. no pending DTCs, and all of our monitors have set except for the evap, and honestly the evap is the last thing I'm worried about, so that's excellent news. And looking at our fuel, typically these evap systems will not run unless the engine was cool, which it was cool when I fired it up, but we need to be between 40 and 80% on our fuel level on a lot of these Hondas in order to do the evap test, and you can see we're a little low. So that doesn't surprise me that that has not run, and I probably needed to get it out on a flatter surface and drive it over 45 miles an hour for a longer period of time, which I did not. But anyway, everything's looking pretty good so far, amazingly enough. It's about 100 degrees today, so this is a good test for it. I've left the AC off. I don't want that to interfere with how it's driving. Normally, obviously, it's hot enough. I'd be using the AC. So it's pretty warm in here. Got the good time radio off. I just have been driving around, listening to the car, feeling it, see how everything's doing. Now we'll go ahead and drop it into gear, and I'll take you guys for a test drive too. Well, I've been out driving this thing for about 20 or 25 minutes or so, going, anywhere from 20 to 55 miles an hour, and coming to stops and everything, and it's been running good. No issues so far, knock on wood. You can go ahead and take a look at some of the carnage. I did go ahead and service the transmission fluid, seeing as it got so hot, and I had to disconnect the lines because I replaced the radiator. And I went ahead and changed the oil, same thing, because it got so hot. And I remember changing this oil like less than 2 weeks before this thing overheated. And I want to say it was over a quart low on oil. And honestly, I think because I just changed the oil, less than 2 weeks before this thing overheated, I think that's the only thing that saved this engine from catastrophic damage. Folks, don't let your Honda overheat. I think they dodged a bullet like they were Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, but in all honesty, most likely they damaged the head gasket also, and obviously we haven't done any testing for that, so it's pretty difficult to get a Honda that hot and not do some damage to the head gasket. So maybe we'll do some compression testing or something like that in a future video. And as always, if the video helped you out, you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.